Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining the Max India's earnings call. I'll first start with the introduction of the team. I have with me Mr. Rajat Mehta, who's the Managing Director of Max India as well as Antara. I have Mr. Ajay Agarwal, who's the Chief Financial Officer for Antara, and myself. I've been with the group for a while.
We also have Vaibhav Poddar.
Vaibhav Poddar, we don't know whether he's joined or not because we've been checking with his office. We don't have confirmation as yet.
Okay.
He's there? Vaibhav Poddar is there for the participation?
No, I don't think so he's there. So if once he joins, maybe we can introduce him.
Sorry for the delay.
Okay. Hi, Vaibhav. Yeah, so Vaibhav Poddar is the CEO of the Antara Assisted Care, which is where our care homes, care at home, and the Medcare vertical, are from this business. So with that, we will start with the presentation for today. I will request all the participants to keep posting their questions on the chat window. We will be happy to answer those questions once the presentation is over. And I'll be moderating those questions. With that, Nishant, let's move to the next slide, please.
Okay, next slide, please. Yeah.
So the first slide gives the balance sheet position of Max India. On the left side of the slide, there is the capital invested in our residences for seniors vertical. As you can see in our Dehradun project, we have invested about 300, but however, because it was it was learning for us, and this was the first business for us, and therefore a lot of brand building, and also the business went through different cycles, so we impaired about 150 from there. So we now have a net investment of about 150 crore in the Dehradun business. The other investment is in the Antara's growth, which is about total of 200 crore, of which includes almost 60 crore for a land bank in Greater Noida, which if at some stage we are not clear about the growth plans there, then we may divest and monetize it. Like we've recently monetized our land parcel in Dehradun also, which is why when you look at the right side of the chart, you will see the cash has gone up, which used to be about 400, has gone up to about 440 crore, of which from the past 300 is earmarked for the Antara's growth capital, and about 92 crore is earmarked for the capital reduction program for the shareholders. We also have other assets, in the form of top 3 floors in Max Towers. Again, those are currently worth about 100 crore. We can monetize them at some stage to generate enough liquidity to keep supporting the Antara growth plans. Beyond the 300 crore originally allocated capital to Antara, we can deploy additional, let's say, 140 crore to accelerate the growth as we walk through the journey. What you will hear today is more of a journey of Antara, which will unfold with the 300 crore investment. But we can always accelerate and invest more capital into the business as we build the business. The middle part of the chart is the investment in the new age businesses, which is the Antara Assisted Care, which is what's represented by Vaibhav, whom I just introduced. So there are 3 verticals there. There's care at home, there's care homes, and there's a Medcare vertical. Rajat, through his presentation, will talk a little bit more about them. All these 3 verticals have been launched but are in initial stage. We have invested about 24 crore. Of the 300 crore allocated to Antara, almost 225 crore will actually get invested in this vertical. Nishant, move on. So on that note, I'll request Mr. Rajat Mehta to walk us through the presentation on Antara, wherein we will try and give you a little bit of an overview on Antara, as well as talk about the recent quarter numbers and give you a little bit more color on those numbers. So with that, over to Mr. Mehta.
Thank you, Jatin. Welcome to all of you. This one slide really captures who we are and what we are doing. As you know, our vision is to create a loved and trusted brand and integrated ecosystem for seniors. So you have residences for seniors who are healthy, but want to live independently and in a community with all services, ranging from healthcare to support services to engagement, etc. They can choose Dehradun or Noida or like projects that we will launch. But if there are seniors who have aging-related issues and need assistance on a daily basis for mobility, for feeding, for bathing, need assistance, they can choose our care homes. These are rented facilities. Options of long stay, short stay exist, including rehabilitation after a medical episode. They're also meant for people who travel from outside the country or outside the city, who need to stay after going through a medical episode or a surgery. They can opt for assisted living or care homes. We will soon launch memory care homes as well, meant for seniors who have memory issues. Seniors who want to, avail of all the services, but in the convenience of their home, can choose our care at home services. So we provide critical care, physiotherapy, diagnostics, blood work, X-ray at home. All that, can be done, at home. And then for aiding the recovery, we have medical, products from respiratory aids to orthopedic aids. Move, Dishant. So this is a slide I presented earlier as well. Senior care is certainly a mega trend. It's a $10 to $12 billion, market. There's been a lot of movement from all perspectives. There's been a lot of interest from investors. A lot of investors have stepped in and investing money in the sector. The government is also working on this very hard. There are white papers being floated across Niti Aayog, Ministry of Health, as well as Ministry of Social Justice and Welfare, where they are focusing on 10 or 12 themes. How to develop this sector, how to recognize this sector, how to develop talent, what financial, structures need to be put in place, what regulations for certificate standards. A lot of work going on, in terms of the sector itself. We are quite uniquely placed as Antara because this sector requires a combination of, hospitality, real estate, infrastructure, and healthcare, competencies. And by serendipity, we have all that, experience under the Max brand. So we're quite uniquely placed. I think we're the only branded player entering into this display to create an integrated ecosystem. Other people are playing parts of it, but we are looking at the entire spectrum. Our focus continues to be on the 4 million elderly population, which is household income of 1.15 lakhs and above, over 3 clusters of NCR, West and parts of South. Our first community was operationalized in Dehradun, is created a new benchmark for, a luxurious senior care, facility. The second one launched in Noida, doing pretty well, and I will share those numbers as I go forward. And we then launched, as Jatin said, the 3 new verticals, which are more service-oriented, more healthcare-oriented, of care at home, medical equipment, and care homes. Move forward. This chart gives you a market size by value pools. The size of the bubble indicates size of the pool. As you can see, home healthcare, assisted living, community living, all are sizable pools. And the fact of the matter is, India is an aging economy now. In the next 30 years, we will have, about 20% of our population, which is 60 plus. Also, surprisingly, more and more seniors are living alone. While this figure states about 17%, we recently ran a survey across 3,000 seniors in Bombay, Bangalore, and Delhi, and we found that 77% of seniors were living alone. Similarly, a very high incidence rate of dementia, which is quite underreported. So the need is, clearly there in terms of market size. Move. Next slide, please. This is a pictorial representation. I will request Vaibhav to take you through this section of what all verticals exist in Antara Assisted Care. Vaibhav, go ahead.
Thank you, Rajit. So within the Antara Assisted Care Services, we are building a platform, like an ancillary healthcare platform, which focuses on 3 areas. One is care at home, where we are basically bringing health services to the comfort of the seniors' homes. Now, as we start building, we've already built a strong portfolio where we do critical care at home. We do physiotherapy and rehabilitation. We provide nursing and assistant services. We provide a host of diagnostic services like X-ray, ECG, pathology services at home. And then we are also continuously adding new services, which will include eye checkups, dental checkup, also dialysis and chemotherapy in the near future. So the whole idea on care at home is to be able to take a portfolio of health services to the senior when and if they need it to be delivered at their home. The second aspect is for a lot of seniors, either if because they are staying alone or because of the illnesses they are unable to manage, or the family is unable to manage them at home. So what we've created, which is our anchor offering, is the care homes. Now, care homes basically is in a stay facility which focuses on medical services for the customers or the seniors who would stay with us. We will cover three aspects in care homes. One is memory care homes. This will target the increasing population of people who are suffering from dementia, Parkinson's, and other mental illnesses. The second is long stay patients. These are seniors who either might be staying alone or are unwell due to chronic conditions and can't be managed at home by the family. So they can move in with us and have a comfortable, not only in terms of living standards, food, hygiene, healthcare, and also engagement. So it's a complete package for seniors who can be staying with us. The third category of patients or customers for us is short stay patients. As you may know, a lot of people domestically as well as internationally travel to get treatments done. So NCR is a huge market for international and domestic people coming in for treatment. So pre and post surgery stay as well as rehabilitation is the third target segment that we are looking at. And lastly, products and services, which we are focusing on medical equipment, where we are looking at sale as well as rental of medical equipment, covering all the B2C medical equipment from respiratory to ortho to also the other support and house help equipments. So if you really see from an overall perspective, these three verticals, the care at home is a services vertical. Then we have Medcare products, which is a product vertical. And care homes is the vertical which provides us with infra and presence. So between the three, it creates a comprehensive ecosystem of taking all type of health services to a senior's home or wherever they may need.
Next slide, Nishant.
We have launched 2 care homes already. Our first care home was launched in Gurgaon. It has 26 rooms and around a capacity of 32 beds, which is inclusive of single occupancy and double occupancy. Our next care home is in GK2, Greater Kailash 2, which is in south of Delhi. Here, our facility is of 32 rooms with a potential occupancy of up to 37 people. Both of them are focusing on catering to long stay, short stay patients. And we are soon going to look at providing the memory care facilities as well in GK2 facility. Now, for the care home product, a lot of factors are coming together for us to continuously believe that this segment or this sector is nascent currently, but it has a high growth potential. First is increase in the market interest and curiosity. Right? A significant proportion of our leads. We've seen a significant increase in the number of leads and inquiries which are coming. A lot of inquiries are about understanding the product. And a significant portion of the leads that are coming through are qualified. Qualified is, the way we define it, is a person who is eligible and who might be a potential patient for our care. Second is the show and tell, which is people who get converted from leads to people who actually come up and see our facilities. We have close to 60% conversion of people who come and see our facilities to the people who choose to stay with us. That itself is very, very encouraging. Third is the unit economics will stack up. Right? While this is upfront, we are investing in the facility and the fixed cost of running the facility. However, even at a 45 to 50% occupancy level, we will achieve the break-even or the unit economics for each of these care homes. For both of these care homes, Gurgaon and GK, we are likely to break even within this financial year. Third thing is the comprehensiveness of our offering. If you benchmark Delhi, especially both the locations that we are in and around a 3 or a 4-star hotel, it will cost you anywhere from 3,000 rupees to 7,000 rupees a day, which only includes stay. While our pricing, which is a gross pricing of around 5 to 5,500, includes all the meals, stay, housekeeping, all facilities, taxes, as well as the comprehensive healthcare services, which if somebody is to take individually will be extremely expensive. And last is that as we are starting to build this category, we are seeing increasing interest from the competition as well. A few of our competition and existing players have already started building a similar proposition, especially on the short stay segment. Over the last 1 year, this is an indicative chart of how we are looking at competition. And as you may understand, the competition for us is not only the home healthcare players, but also the players who are in the business of medical equipment as well as on senior living. What we've been able to do in the last 12 months is to build a comprehensive service portfolio. And if you compare it to most of our competition today across these three verticals, we have the most comprehensive service portfolio. And when you look at, and if we break up our services into a bit of a deeper dive, right, which is, even if I look at care at home and break it into assistance, diagnostic, rehabilitation, each of our service lines is a sizable opportunity in themselves. You will have a lot of players who are playing just in the part of the ecosystem that we are in, and they are sizable within themselves. And the other thing is that as many of these markets are nascent, a lot of the market is still unorganized, so which gives us a huge ability to actually organize and increasingly capture market share within existing need categories. Should I take this?
Yeah, I'll just give some opening comments. So I think before Vaibhav dives into the quarterly results, 3 or 4 messages. One, we have had a very good quarter financially. There's been top line expansion, there's been margin expansion, a positive impact on cash flows due to on the back of sales both at Noida and Dehradun, and collections being ahead of target. Already started construction in the Noida project. A very healthy pipeline, going forward. The strategy is now seeming to pan out despite some headwinds and tailwinds, both mixed from COVID. And a capital reduction plan also is on track. So in terms of financials and financial health, it's been a great quarter. But let's go into details of the 3 verticals, and then I will talk about Dehradun and Noida separately. Go ahead, Vaibhav.
Sure. Thank you, Rajat. So starting with care at home, the Q1 revenue for this year is at around 4.6 crores. And the good thing was that we were able to target the COVID scenario very positively, and we were able to launch a comprehensive set of COVID services for the patients in Delhi NCR. And that is why you see a significant proportion of the revenue for this quarter came from COVID services. We've seen a consistent growth of quarter on quarter in terms of the revenues as well as the volume. As you may say, in the Q1, we saw a volume of, we served 5,600 patients to get to a total revenue of around 4.6 crores, which on a quarter-on-quarter basis is approximately 4x from what we saw in the last quarter of previous financial year. One of the interesting things that we have done as an organization is we've been able to launch India's first health checkup on wheels. This is a health checkup van which is able to go to seniors' residences and even in RWS to provide a hospital-level health checkup at home. This will not only provide facilities for blood test and doctor consult, but it has a hospital-grade 100 mA X-ray. It has a treadmill test which can be done within the van. It has a bone density test as well as an ECG. And we will continuously work on adding more services to this. So by launching this, we've really taken convenience to the homes of the seniors. Coming to care homes. In care homes, again, we've seen a significant growth on quarter basis. If I compare Q4 to Q4 of FY21 to Q1 of FY22, we've seen a revenue growth of approximately 1.9x, which is a 2x growth on a quarter basis. And also the number of, and even the occupancy, we've seen a 10 to 12% increase in the occupancy on a quarter basis. So as more and more customers are understanding this category, we are seeing a good and a healthy conversion of latent demand being converted into actual business. What we've been able to do is that we have had a very sharp focus on the economics for the center. As you may understand that the way the centers run, it has a high proportion of fixed costs because of the rental and the running of the centers. However, we've managed to link a majority of these costs to the occupancy. That's why we've been able to have healthy contribution margins in care homes as well. And if you see a stable state care home, we expect a 6 to 7 crore revenue from each care home on a stable state. This is estimated at a 75 to 80% occupancy with an EBITDA margin of around 20%. Now, the stable state EBITDA margin we expect to come from approximately 18 to 24 months. And once we hit that EBITDA margin, we expect it to be consistent because the occupancy, the rate, as well as the inflation will match each other. So we can see a consistent 20 to 22% EBITDA margin. And the capex estimate for each of these care homes is approximately 2.2 to 2.5 crores is the approximate capex that we are expecting for a 30-room facility on an average. While if you see at care at home, yeah. So moving ahead to Medcare, as Rachit had already mentioned, is our business vertical which deals in the sale and rental of medical equipment. Here also we've seen a significant growth. If I look at quarter 4 to quarter 1, we've seen a 3.6 times, right, which is close to 400% growth quarter on quarter basis. This was also driven significantly by the sale of respiratory equipment during the COVID wave 2, which we all understand was quite severe in Delhi NCR, and that is what had driven the revenues between quarter 4 and quarter 1. In the limited period that we've launched this business, which is around 8 months. Today we have a comprehensive set of products across all the categories, be it rehabilitation, respiratory, mobility, bathroom accessories, as well as preventive and wellness. And we are seeing a healthy contribution. We've seen a 12 to 13% contribution in this quarter from this business. We also launched our first store in Fortis Institute in Gurgaon, in the main lobby of the Fortis Hospital. That is where we opened our first store.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Ravi.
Yeah. Let's move on to residences for seniors. As I said earlier, again, a huge market potential. Currently, only about 4,500 units exist across India, while the need is of over 2 lakh units. This is a CII report that came out in 2016. Go forward. So Dehradun, as I said, COVID has had a mixed impact while we had to close down the facility to keep residents safe for a while. But the sales have really picked up. The need for such facilities has gone up significantly. We are now netting a sales velocity of 1.83. For the last 6 months, we shifted our focus to conducting most meetings virtually. The other good thing is 58% of our sales are coming through resident referrals, which is a great endorsement of existing, people who are staying there in terms of the product and the facilities that they see over there. We're also seeing active interest from channel partners and some conversions happening from digital as well. As you know, the average realization per square foot was 2,500. We have sold about 150 odd units, so far, already, and a very, very healthy, trend in terms of collections. As of June end, we have a debt of 101. It's come down to 92 crores now as well. And we're looking at, options of how we can, prepay this loan to be able to save some interest costs. On Noida, similarly, a net sales of 170, doing very well, a velocity of 6 to 7, which is ordinarily the velocity of a good real estate player. Despite the fact we are a senior offering, we are different from real estate, and yet we are having a healthy sales velocity. We reoriented our efforts, marketing efforts particularly, more to go virtual, digital, given the current circumstances. A very healthy pipeline. Referrals are now coming in from existing customers who have bought. They are now referring customers to us. We are having a healthy run rate on collections as well. And you can see the project economics in terms of average sales realization, 7,000 rupees a square feet. The project cost is 330 crores. We've already started the piling work for resident 1, 2, and 3. Excavation was already completed, and hopefully we'll have construction starting sometime, early September. We already have our PMC on board. This is Cushman and Wakefield. The civil contractor has been appointed, so all building blocks, in place. We are hoping to complete the project by March 25, subject to, COVID. Don't know what will happen in the third wave. So at this point of time, all green as far as Noida is concerned. Overall, we continue, as I said, to be focused on our strategy of looking at 3 clusters, 5 communities in terms of residences for seniors, 35 to 40 care homes, memory care homes, and a presence of medical equipment as well as care at home along with these clusters. So that strategy remains in place. Go forward, Nishan. Therefore, hoping to look at a revenue of 500 crores in FY 27-28, healthy EBITDA margin 12 to 15%. We already have the capital, as Jatin shared, in our treasury to invest into Antara's growth. Very healthy ROCE, 25%, and a capital return between years 7 and 8. So very healthy financials. So far on track as far as this is concerned. This is just a slide we had shared last time as well, that on the residences for seniors as well, we are looking at a capital light model. Was, we owned the land, we built it ourselves, we sold and operate. Going forward, we have partners who will bring in the land parcels, will bring in, the money for construction, and our focus is in helping on design, project management, sales and marketing, and running the operation. So it's a capital light model going forward in terms of residences for seniors. So that's all we had from our side. I'll just reiterate, a very good quarter financially, top line expansion, margin expansion, cash flow positive impact, healthy pipeline going forward at this point of time, and a very uptick on sales, and collection both in Noida and Dehradun. There was talking about headwinds and tailwinds. So in a mixed bag, we have seen a positive impact on velocity in sales, a positive impact during COVID times on all the 3 verticals of Antara assisted care. There are because of COVID access to hospitals. There's no international medical value travel at this point of time, but net is a balanced picture at this point.
Okay, thank you, Rajat. Thank you, Vaibhav. I request all participants to please keep posting their questions on the chat window. We will be happy to answer those questions one after the other. Thank you. So the first question is from Tisha Arora. The question is there a recurring revenue from senior homes that we have in Noida and Dehradun? I believe that monthly maintenance charges at these condos are very high. What share of the same is taken by Max India?
So there is a recurring revenue not only from maintenance charges in Dehradun, but also from use of various services. For example, cuisine, the wellness center, healthcare services. So there are several streams of revenue, and Dehradun the charges, were at a particular level given the facility. It's spread across 14 acres, 197 units, quite luxurious. Noida is yet to start. However, in Noida, the monthly maintenance is 1/6 of Dehradun is. It's quite competitive, going forward. But please remember, our maintenance charges include common area maintenance, glove access, engagement services, hobby classes, and access to healthcare services. So a little different from maintenance charge of other condominiums. So there's a pretty income that comes in regularly from Dehradun. Noida is yet to start.
Okay, while I take up the next question, I request all participants to keep posting their questions on chat window. The next question is from Anand Mundra. Has the pandemic added to any tailwinds or headwinds to this mega trend of senior care? Are there any verticals which we see doing better or worse during the pandemic? Also, how has the pandemic made us tweak our business model from what we had envisaged earlier before the pandemic?
I already answered that. I said a positive impact on Dehradun sales, Noida sales, during COVID, a positive impact on care at home services, on medical equipment, some headwinds on care homes, which are now clearing up. because of access to doctors, etc. So overall, a balanced, impact for us. Financially, we have done pretty well on the back of COVID. So it's been a mixed bag, but mostly tailwinds across the verticals. Yes, we picked our model. So if you look at Noida, it's a very different model compared to Dehradun. It's capital light. Similarly, on the care homes, as we go along, we have looked at, which kind of models will work, best as we look at, COVID. So some tweaks have been made. For example, we launched COVID services. We ran isolation centers for the first time. So as the scenario unfolds, we are pivoting and adapting ourselves. We never imagined we will get into medical care, medical equipment so fast, but we saw the opportunity and we kind of capitalized on it. So there have been tweaks to the model as we learned.
Okay, next question is again from Tisha Arora. Care homes, are we planning more care homes? Will we be looking at markets outside of NCR like Jaipur, Chandigarh?
So yes, we are opening more care homes. We are opening more memory care homes as well. At this point of time, for the next 18 to 24 months, focus on NCR. After that, we look at the West cluster, Mumbai, Pune, or South cluster, Bangalore, Hyderabad.
Okay, next question is, what is the expected time of completion of capital reduction from now? So I'll take that question. So where we are in this process on capital reduction is that we got our shareholders' approval as of end of July. Now we are in the middle of sort of finalizing the scheme which has to be filed with NCLT. We expect that scheme to be filed with NCLT, I think within the next 10 days or so, and then that process starts. What we have been told is this is a simpler process. It's not as elaborate and as complicated as a normal scheme which goes to NCLT. So once we file with NCLT, it should get done in the next 4 to 5 months is the advice we have received from our advisors. But how much time it actually takes remains to be seen. But we are hopeful that we should be able to conclude this initiative by, mostly either end of this year or early next year, for sure, but within this fiscal. The next question is, when can we come into, from Mr. Anil Jay Singh, when can we come into profitability at the operational level?
So different answers for different verticals. On residences for seniors, it's a project base. So I think if I'm not mistaken, Ajay, correct me, in 4th, 5th year, the capital gets returned. And very healthy IRRs of 17 to 20%. On AACS, there are for care homes in the second year they break even, but over the AACS business in the 5 to 6 year period we will see it breaking even, and as I said, EBITDA margin in the middle teens.
The next question is from Zahara Sharif. If the opportunity is so large, do you think your growth plans are conservative? What would be needed to scale up and speed up the growth? Is the 10-year growth plan materially higher?
You're absolutely right. The opportunity is very large. While there seems to be a huge need, conversion to demand is taking time. And with the current COVID, infrastructure planning sector took a hit. Point of time, we are actually having quite aggressive plans, as you can see from our growth in terms of top line. So I think in the next 24 months or so, once we have put COVID behind us, we build minimum infrastructure, add more experience, is the time when we will start examining and saying, do we need to go more aggressive? However, as I said, continuous learning exercise. We will seize the opportunity as it comes. We have enough capital, both in organic growth. We have built a very strong team. The operation is quite stable, and the building blocks are in place. So every 2 years we will look at and see where we are. At this point in time, as I said, our outlook is 500 crores over 5 years, 35 to 40 care homes, 3 to 5 communities, care at home and medical equipment. But let's see, every 18, 24 months, we'll keep on revisiting our strategy.
Absolutely. And just to supplement, Rajat, I think this is a pan-India opportunity. Obviously, as part of our 500 crore plan, we only are talking about currently 3 clusters. Now, we have, no sort of limitation on capital availability, and we'll be open to raise if required to accelerate this growth. I think it's just that it's currently early days, and we want to first create this business successfully in NCR, and then we take it on from there. Whereas the growth in the senior residences for seniors vertical will be somewhat calibrated, because we'll want to sort of it to be more complementary to where we go in terms of our Antara Assisted Cares initiative. Wherever we go, that's where we want to take that business, and let's see where we finally land. The next question is from Tisha Arora. Is there any risk in the long term, as we don't own the land in Noida? Is there any merit in buying this land, as the project has got very good response?
Ajay, you want to take that?
So there is no long-term risk on Noida land, because the license is pretty much straight, and the agreement what we have with the landowner by virtue of the JDA is pretty straight, and with the new RERA rules, there is not pretty much hiccup which happens. So from a partnership perspective, no risk. As far as buying is concerned, no, that should not be great, because our focus is to develop, and we are already into a revenue share, and as we shared in our presentation, the focus of Antara going forward is more to be asset light, wherein we'll be charging a fee and other components of the construction will be done by the partner. So that's not our present strategy, to buy land and develop.
Okay, next question again from Tisha Arora is quite an interesting one, and Vaibhav, you'd like to maybe answer this. Any plans for online vertical for the medical equipment division? Is there a second store planned?
So we will be evaluating the online presence for the medical equipment over the next couple of years. The rationale of being that is we want to evaluate and test launching our own product line. We have our own product lines is when we would want to evaluate getting into the online or the e-commerce vertical for medical equipment.
Okay. Next question is from A. Bhatia. Is the current cover situation throwing up opportunities to quickly, I think it means COVID, is the current COVID situation throwing up opportunities to quickly close a few deals for care homes? How many new centers you might tie up in the next 6 to 12 months?
Vaibhav, go ahead.
Yes, I think to build this category, we are very positive on opening more care homes. And in the next 6 to 12 months, we will be looking at least 5 to 8 homes within NCR.
Okay. The next question is, what are the latest PE VC deals that have taken place in the senior care vertical space in India? What were the valuations for the same? Maybe I'll try and attempt this. So, this space actually is a little bit of an uncharted territory, in the sense that care homes is a category creation which we are doing. There have been players in the care at home or home care space, wherein we've seen the valuations of or the transactions happening at 5 to 10 times revenue multiples in India. And then, when we really go beyond India, and we look at, let's say, a matured market like US, and it's all the details you'll find in our detailed investor presentation, which is in our website. But there are companies which are, they are companies which have a valuation of anywhere from $1 to $7 billion in this space. They trade at anywhere from 3 to 5 times revenue in a matured market like US, and currently about 30 to 35 times EBITDA. So to that extent, I think the valuation benchmarks are salivating in this business. Of course, we also expect that as our business starts to mature, and as you will have more visibility on this business, you will see some of that reflecting in our stock price as well. Next one is, what is the status of buyback proposal? I have joined late. Maybe you've answered it earlier. Is the question from Sumit Bhatnagar. So Sumit, the buyback proposal, essentially, it's a scheme of capital reduction. This scheme requires an approval from NCLT. We will be filing the NCLT application within the next 10 days. Once that application is filed, we expect this approval to come within the next 4 to 5 months after filing the application, is what we are told. Typically, NCLT processes take 6 to 9 months, but this one we have been told is a shorter process. So we are hopeful that if not by end of this year, certainly by early next year, this initiative should be behind us, but quite confident that we should be able to pull this through within this fiscal year. Okay, any other question, please post on the chat window. Request all of you to do so. Okay, next question is from A. Bhatia. Are you exploring working with large developer in Pune, Bangalore, who has a large township, and Antara Senior Living could be part of the township?
Well, we haven't yet explored, the west or the south cluster, but we are quite open to standalone or quite open to a person who has intergenerational living as a concept as well. So there's no fixed ideas we have or we'll do this or that. Really depends on the location, the opportunity, and the quality of the partner that we have. Not yet stepped out, to those two locations for us to comment.
So just to supplement, Rajat, I think we see ours is a cluster by cluster approach. So we are currently in NCR cluster with all the 4 verticals there. We like to sort of deepen into our presence in NCR before we move out of NCR, like Rajat said, 24 months from now. And then, both Mumbai, Pune and Bangalore, Hyderabad clusters are practically very much in our radar. Which one we will go to first and which one we go to second, or we go to both simultaneously is a call we will take, 24 months from now, but very much interested in both these geographies. Next question is from Tisha Arora. Are we able to leverage our relationship with Max Hospitals in a way they are competing on certain services with us?
So very much we are leveraging our relationship. We do some of diagnostic blood work, through them, labs. We also get referrals from their doctors. We are not competing with them in many verticals. They don't do medical equipment. They don't do assisted living or memory care. The care at home services are focused on Max patients only. So we don't, target Max patients. So we are coexisting quite peacefully and leveraging our relationship. We get help from doctors in terms of clinical protocols, infection control protocols. All that help is available to us. We also have a relationship with Max, hospitals in Dehradun, where they support the Antara Dehradun community quite actively.
Okay. The next question is from Aditya Khemka. What are the contours of the ESOPs recently assigned to the employees? What is the vesting period?
So there are 2 ESOPs currently working. One on the listed company Max India ESOPs, and second is the Antara Assisted Care Services ESOPs. They are typically a 4-year vesting period as a cliff vesting, not a vesting every year. Therefore, the interests of the employees are not quite aligned with the interests of shareholders in terms of value creation.
Okay. The next question is again from Aditya Khemka. From Jigar. Any plan to infuse fresh capital by way of inducting a strategic partner?
At this point of time, we have enough, corpus in the treasury to support our growth. However, if we find that we are able to grow faster, there are opportunities available. We are not, averse to looking at strategic partnerships or raising funds. But at this point of time, to the best of our ability for the next 24, 36 months, we don't see an issue in terms of availability of capital for our growth.
Again, just to supplement Rajat, I think there is sort of one initiative which is the residences for seniors vertical. That's something wherein we'll, at some stage be open to looking at a capital provider because our model is to be investment light in these businesses as opposed to being investment heavy. So while from our capital plans we don't need any partner. However, to grow the senior residences vertical sharply, we would always be open to and explore a capital partner.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question is from Aditya Khemka. Is there any change in the thought process of the management about participating in the capital reduction plan? No, there is no change. The sponsors will not be participating in the capital reduction program. It's meant purely for our non-promoter shareholders. which is public shareholders. And clearly there is no plan we have to participate in that, as in the sponsors have. What are the three big risks that you worry about?
I think what is pertinent in the current situation is the risk of COVID. How much it will impact more? Will there be a third lockdown? How drastic the third wave will be? When will international medical value open up? When will the hospitals start going back to elective surgeries? So that's one risk that we worry about. Second is risk of infrastructure. For growth in care homes, for example, is dependent on availability of infrastructure. Second risk. And third is obviously skilled manpower, because our deliveries on the assisted care side, are mainly dependent on people to make sure that we have the right talent, well trained, and the service delivery is immaculate. Those are three that we worry about.
Okay. Any other questions? Please post on the chat window. Okay, yeah. So there's another question from Zara Sharif. What can you do to mitigate these risks?
We actually have comprehensive plans. So these risks are quite, they are mapped quite diligently every quarter. Present to the committee. We have a heat map separately for Dehradun, separately for Noida, separately for the assisted care services. And there are several mitigants that we put in place. For example, in Dehradun and Noida, we leverage digital, leverage channel partners in terms of sales, leverage resident referrals, and therefore you see the uptick in sales and collection. We also change the product offering to make it more attractive, to the customer. It was repackaging, not necessarily giving more discounts, just repackaging the way we market it, and that helps a lot. So that's on the residency side. On Tara Assisted Care, under Weber, we're developing a very strong vertical to make sure we're able to hire and train the talent that we need. We're looking at several other models to de-risk the infrastructure risks that I talked about. And in terms of service delivery and clinical excellence, there are protocols in place. There are several, dipsticks that we do to be able to see how we are doing on that side. So that's what we have done to mitigate the risks.
Okay, next question is from Jigar. What is the consolidated debt on the books? So Jigar, there is only one debt at this point in time, which is in the Dehradun project, which is about 92 crore. We are proposing to repay that from the surplus funds we have available from the sale of land parcel in Dehradun, as well as some bridge financing by the parent company, which is Max India. But we expect those cash flows to be replenished in the next 24 months or so. So to that extent, we will be zero net debt. However, our cash reserves, which will be there after repaying this debt, will be up to the tune of about 300 crore. The next question is from Anmol. No, sorry, not from Anmol. From Aditya. What is the level of pricing power we possess in different verticals? Are we able to increase prices for services and rentals over time, along with inflation? If yes, is the price increase higher or lower than our cost of inflation?
So on Dehradun, it's quite sweetly priced, and we keep looking at the units that are left and package them. On Noida, we have been consistently increasing prices every 6 months, while keeping in mind competition, so not to cannibalize our sales. On Tara Assisted Care is just too new, very competitive, very price sensitive market. So there, I cannot say, Vaibhav can add that we have any power over pricing. We have to be competitive. That's more volume game.
Okay. Next question is from Anmol Grover. How do you see the revenue contribution from each of the segment within the 500 crore?
So Vaibhav, you want to take that?
Sure, Rajesh. So I think in the 500 crore, we see a broad mix of approximately the same mix between the three, which is care home, care at home, and Medicare products. We expect around 40% to come from care home. Another 30-35% to come from Medicare products, the remaining to come from care at home.
Okay. Are you planning to have a property in Maharashtra like Dehradun? So this question, this is from Mr. Sunil Shah. See, we answered this question a short while ago to say that, we are taking a cluster approach. So for the first 24 months, we will be in NCR cluster, but after that, clearly, Mumbai, Pune is one of the clusters we'd like to get into. And when we get there, we'll be open to sort of setting up a property like Dehradun. And by the way, I must say, I think Sunil has visited our property. He's actually, visited our Dehradun yesterday or tomorrow, I think. Yeah, yesterday, if I remember.
But then just to add in that we are not planning to make a Dehradun kind of urban luxury because of the strategy of Antara. We are going with Antara 2.0, and so the learnings of Dehradun will be incorporated in all our future developments. So while we'll be very mindful of the Seva Bhav and all the facilities what we are giving, which distinguishes us from other players, it will be more suiting to the need of the residents rather than bringing amazing luxury.
Okay, the next question is from Tishar Arora. The capex cost of about 2 homes seems very low. Do we make the property owners to invest in some capex and pay a higher rental? What is the average length of these lease arrangements?
The average length of these lease agreements is a typical period of 3 plus 3 plus 3, 9 years. And the 2 to 2.5 crore capex that we spend is on the refurbishment of these properties. And we found this to be reasonably sufficient. We don't have any explicit investments by the property owner towards the capex for care homes. So, but whatever is the standard things that the owner provides, that's the only thing that we take. So at least for the two properties that we've seen and also the new ones that we're evaluating, the 2 to 2.5 crore capex per care home, we found it to be reasonably sufficient.
The next question is from Zahra Sharif. Just in terms of focus, on what areas of work is Vaibhav spending most of his time?
Vaibhav spends 100% of his time on Antara Assisted Care Services, the 3 verticals that he's building out, while he have the senior leadership team at Antara level, and spends some time to help the strategy. But most of his time is going on building out the 3 new verticals.
Okay. Okay, so there's one more. So the comment from Mr. Sunil Shah is to say, I think Pune will be a good market. Please look into it. Feedback taken. We would look at it, like I said, after 24 months. But we'll be more than happy to look at it. Okay, next question is from Mr. Anil Jasing. Your revenues have almost doubled to 55 crores this quarter. However, your profitability is constant. What are the factors pushing down profitability or focus to enhance the same? I think the question may be saying annualized we are tracking at 55 crores.
No, it's consolidated.
Oh, it's consolidated.
Because
revenue.
of Antara Doon.
No, so I think on the profitability front, all these businesses are currently in the build-up phase. For example, Noida, we've just practically started collecting and building, and the piling work is happening as we speak and all. And similarly, the other businesses are also in the build-up phase. The profitability is at least 3 years away. So is something which I think Rajat had mentioned earlier also in his comment. So yes, so clearly there is focus on profitability, but it's some time away. The last question is from Anand Mundra. Do we own any land parcel in Greater Noida? Also, do we have any projects in the pipeline for senior living space?
Ajay?
So we have a land parcel in Greater Noida. We have given an advance, but then we are still contemplating whether to develop a senior living there or not. And as Jatin mentioned at the start, that if we find that it is lucrative enough to develop, then we develop, or else we'll monetize that asset. As far as the development of senior living is concerned, as we explained, we are presently developing one residential community at Noida, and we are actively opportunity at Gurgaon. That's the way we want to grow in a CCRC vertical, Delhi NCR, and then we'll move to other geographies.
Okay, so I think there's a feedback which I can just share for the benefit of the larger investor group also from Mr. Sunil Shah on his visit. So he's saying I visited, last week. Was really impressed. Excellent 7-star property. I talked to residents, members, and all are very happy. Keep it up. So
Thank you, Sunil.
I'll encourage other investors to also sort of look at this and visit our property. You may quite like the experience. In fact, you can you can travel to Noida also to see the new incarnation of our residences for seniors, as well as we can do a look around for you of the care homes. If you can plan to be in NCR, we'll be more than happy to facilitate that. Okay, so the next question is, so can we expect the Gurgaon one to close this year? Rajat, you want to...
Yes, certainly. We should be able to close the deal within this year.
Perfect. So there are no further questions. So thank you so much for quite an interactive conversation. Thank you for your interest in Max India's growth story. Have a good day, and please feel free to reach out to us if you have any follow-up questions, and we look forward to more such interaction in the future.
Thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.